Well, since the regular season now is over and conference tournament play begins very soon, I thought it'd be a perfect time to go and look back at my Big 12 men's basketball predictions and see how I did. Hopefully I didn't suck. Hey, what's up everybody? It's Drew, better known as RockChalk01, and in this video I'm going to be giving the results to my Big 12 men's basketball predictions for the 2022-23 season. Yeah, so this is the third time that I've done it on this channel, and I gotta admit I'm pretty decent when it comes to predicting basketball. Football, on the other hand, not so much. But I think I did pretty well for this year, and I just hope I didn't lay an egg. But before I get started, I want to give you a little bit of ground rules. So if I'm one position off either way, forward or backwards, I do get a point for it, and if I get it right on the nose, it's 3 points. So without further ado, let's look back at my predictions and see the results.
10th, K-State.
Well, this was one of the stupidest predictions I've ever made. I'm done. See ya. Okay, I guess I have to explain myself. So Kansas State, I predicted that the Wildcats would finish in dead last, and I was so far off, they finished third. Yeah, let's just say I was stupid for this. I mean, who would have thought that Kansas State would have done this well this season? Because I sure the heck didn't. Desi Sills was great. Keontae Johnson was incredible. Marquise Noel was amazing. I mean, and the last two guys, Johnson and Noel, in my book, were first team all Big 12. And not only that, their coach, Jerome Tang, who I absolutely botched his name in the predictions video. Sorry about that. But Tang won the Big 12 Coach of the Year this year, and he deserved it. In fact, I think he should have deserved it unanimously. That's stupid on the Big 12. But going back to my prediction, I did not think K-State would be this good, and they proved me ever so wrongly. So yeah, I'm not getting any points for this.
9th, West Virginia.
Well, that didn't take as long as I thought. I'm finally on the board. West Virginia, I predicted that the Mountaineers would finish in 8th, and they finished 9th. And thank God they did, because their season this year was, to say the best. I mean, they had guys. I mean, they were loaded with super seniors and seniors on this squad. Eric Stevenson is one of the best long-range three-point shooters I've ever seen. They got Trey Mitchell from Texas, which he is a big presence down low. But they just struggled when it came to Big 12 play. And I hate to kind of agree with my past self, but I think Bob Huggins is going to retire at the end of this season. And I think he needs to, because it doesn't seem like he enjoys it anymore. But with all that said, since I was one position off, I do get a point. So I'm on the board with 1 point.
8th, Iowa State.
This team is always a freaking whirlwind. Iowa State, I predicted that the Cyclones would finish in 8th, and they finished 5th. What to say? Their season was up and down and side to side and flipped over in a loop-de-loop because they were all over the place this year. And the fact that they still finished 5th, by the way, Caleb Grill got kicked off the team because of things, but still, Caleb Grill was a good shooter. Gabe Kalsher was an incredible shooter. And TJ Otzelberger is one of the best young-minded coaches in the game. So, yeah, the fact that I predicted him 8th, there was no shock that I was getting this wrong. So, that's another goose egg.
7th, Oklahoma State.
Sweet baby Jesus, I got one right. Oklahoma State, I predicted that the Cowboys would finish in 7th, and lo and behold, they finished 7th. By one game. I mean, Mike Boynton had a pretty decent squad, especially late this year, which they were more towards the bottom of the Big 12 anyway, but they had Caleb Boone, Musa Cisse, they had Avery Anderson, who got hurt, which really hurt them. And then you got Bryce Thompson, who came out of his shell and played incredible. I mean, Mike Boynton had a pretty decent squad, and I think they should make the NCAA tournament. But I know a couple people say that they're like the first four out, they should be in the NIT. Put the Cowboys in the tournament, please. But yeah, going back to my prediction, thank goodness I got this right, because that's a 3-point basket for me, and I'm all the way up to 4 points.
6th, Oklahoma.
Well, I was just wrong. So Oklahoma, I predicted that the Sooners would finish in 6th, and they finished dead last. And there is no better explanation than they really just didn't have that much leadership on the team. Now, don't get me wrong, Oklahoma was a decent basketball team this year, and the record really doesn't show, but they had guys, but there wasn't a clear leader. I mean, Grant Sherfield, yeah, he was incredible. Tanner Groves, he pretty much had a downfall year after last season. And yeah, there wasn't that really big main guy for him. And it kind of showed. I mean, Porter Moser is a great coach, but yeah, this team was a big struggle. And then going back to my prediction, this was one of the most far-fetched all season. So yeah, that's another goose egg.
5th, Texas Tech.
Oh, 2 in a row where I was way off.
You stink.
Texas Tech. I predicted that the Red Raiders would finish in 5th, and they finished in 9th. And this team had the potential to be pretty stinking good, and then conference play hit. I don't know what went wrong. I mean, they had dudes. They got guys from the transfer portal that was really good. I mean, Kevin O'Banner came back, which he played remarkable. You got Davian Harmon, who is a good shooter. Pop Isaacs was a talented freshman that really can shoot for distance. But as soon as conference play hit, everything just went downhill. Going back to my prediction, this was far-fetched too. So that's my second goose egg in a row.
4th, TCU.
Oh, I was so close. But that's 3.
Wah, wah, wah. Will you cut that out?
TCU. I predicted that the Horned Frogs would finish 4th, and they finished 6th. This team, pretty stinking good. But then they had a little bit of the season where Mike Miles got hurt, Eddie Lampkin got hurt, and then, yeah, it just kind of derailed for a bit. And to think, this team at the beginning of the 2022 season was a top 10 team. They did not look like a top 10 team. A top 25 team, but not top 10. Now, don't get me wrong. TCU is going to make the NCAA tournament, bar none. I mean, Jamie Dixon is an incredible coach, and he coached this team to probably as best as they're going to do. Maybe. I'm keeping that in, like, that's a big freaking asterisk. But I think they're going to be fine. And the fact that they finished 6th, I mean, that's in one of the toughest conferences in the country. That's a reward. So, unfortunately, for the 3rd time in a row, yeah, I'm not getting any points for this.
3rd, Baylor.
Finally, I'm back on the board. Baylor. I predicted that the Bears would finish in 3rd, and they finished 4th. But this team kind of choked because they could have been the Big 12 champion, and then they lost like 3 out of their last 4. But they still finished in the top 5. Now, losing Jerome Tang to Kansas State probably hurt the Bears the most. But still, Scott Drew had an incredible squad this year, especially with the backcourt, because they had Keontae George, LJ Cryer, and Adam Flagler. Probably the best backcourt in the country. Yeah, Baylor did incredible. But when it came down to being one of the best teams in the Big 12, I guess. I don't know. Also, I realized their conference championship streak is now over. after going back to back, so that's done. But yeah, since I predicted them third and they finished fourth, give me another point, so I'm now up to 5.
Second, Texas.
Wow. A team that I didn't think would do well helped me get one right. So Texas, I predicted that the Longhorns would finish in second, and they finished second after one of the most crazy years in Texas basketball history in recent memory. I mean, they started with Chris Beard being their head coach, and then he got fired for allegations, and then in comes Rodney Terry as the interim coach, and he just kept them consistent. And I will say, Texas kind of did prove me wrong a bit, but they had some dudes that played incredible. But Texas had a chance to win the Big 12, and then they blew it late. But with them doing that, helped me out, because I got myself another 3-point basket, and now I'm up to 8 points.
First, Kansas.
You can call it chalk, you can call it BS, you can call it whatever. But thankfully, I finish strong with another 3-point basket. So Kansas, I predicted that the Jayhawks would finish first, and they did finish first, winning their second conference championship in a row, which, if you go back to streaks, the last time KU had multiple conference championships in a row, gotta go back to the 14 straight. But what to say about this team? It could have been worse, because you go back to the January we had, it was garbage because we had the 3-game losing streak. But then once we played Kentucky, we kind of kicked it back into high gear. And a lot of guys stepped up after losing over 75% of their scoring. And you have Jalen Wilson, who was the Big 12 Player of the Year, unanimous Big 12 Player of the Year. DeJuan Harris, Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. KJ Adams, Most Improved Player of the Year. Grady Dick, All Big 12 Second Team. Kevin McCullough, All Big 12 Third Team. The list goes on. But the fact that Bill Self completely rebuilt a team that came off a national championship and won a conference outright with basically the same record is remarkable. So, since I did pick Kansas to win it, that's another 3-point basket for me, and I finish with a total of 11 points. And that's going to do it for the results to my Big 12 men's basketball predictions for the 2022-23 season. Let me know in the comments how bad some of my picks were. Also, don't forget to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe, and push that notification bell, and tell your friends about these videos. And I'm actually going to do another video related to the Big 12, but it's going to be my Big 12 tournament predictions. So that should come out very soon. But until then, have a good day. Never ever bring exotic dancers to the field house, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.